This house has some major trouble spots,
I'm afraid there could be mold.
and it may be falling apart.
The siding's been on for about 30 years and it's sort of taken a hit.
We'll find the problems and fix them next. John and Susan Watterson wanted a bigger house to fit a growing family.
Considering we had twins and we also had 4 older children, and so we needed all the space we could get.
They were sold on this hillside rancher, not for the size, but for the scenery.
I wanted a view, and there wasn't much better of a view that I could find.
But now, John and Susan are noticing the house is more weathered than they thought.
Sometimes in the night it sounds like we're going to blow off the hill.
We have a lot of water issues.
And they fear other hazards.
The furnace, besides being incredibly inefficient, I worry about possibly carbon monoxide.
So you guys move into a bigger house, but you know, isn't that say bigger problems?
Seems so.
Yeah, we're finding that, yes.
I'm sure. So what do you have here?
Well, we have siding on at least 2 sides of the house that's letting more water in than probably keeping out.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
big.
We've also had some problems in one of the bathrooms with leaking
Okay.
in one of the toilets and water coming into the garage actually from the leaking toilet.
Ah, so a lot of water.
A lot of water.
Big water.
Possibly a little bit of mold growing in my son's
All right.
bedroom.
Well, those are all results of water. So
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, here's how the plan goes. We're going to call in a certified home inspector. I see that
about
big
that.
grin coming on
Yes.
your face. You like that, right?
Yes.
Well, he's going to give us a very comprehensive inspection. We're going to come up with a list of fixes that we're going to take care of.
Great.
Call in the right contractors.
Great.
And with your help, because I'm sure you're going to put on the tool belts.
Let's go.
Okay?
Yeah.
And
All
we're
right.
going to fix it and we'll get it all done.
Okay.
We call in Steve Ramos, a certified home inspector.
We have water leaks everywhere.
All right.
And we really need your help.
Okay. Well, that's what I'm here to do. You know, the first thing I see is there's no paint on this step. And the home's first line of defense is paint when we talk about water damage. So this is an important item. Siding looks a little bit weathered, not too bad here in the front. There's a cork in your siding.
There's a cork in our...
Oh dear, you noticed.
Yeah. This is not the recommended way of taking care of siding leaks, obviously. So we'll see if we can't come up with some more creative solutions for you.
Wood siding needs maintenance. Here's how to do it. Repair holes that allow moisture and pests to get in. Re-nail any loose sheathing. Pressure wash dirt or mildew at least twice a year and repaint or restain every 4 years. We head inside to the family room where the old windows are letting in more than the view.
Problem is, these are some of our better windows, and they leak like sieves.
Okay.
And when it rains, it really rains inside.
Right.
The water actually doesn't come down from the upside, but it comes down from the bottom. It just seeps in, and you just have to come up here with towels and try to sop up the water before
Right.
it starts flowing over. So, and other than that, you know, the condensation kind of cuts down on the view.
Yeah, that's definitely a problem. These windows look like they're older. You know, aluminum metal frame windows are pretty much out of style now. Fiberglass and vinyl are the modern choices, depending upon cost. But what I am seeing, which may be a bigger problem here, is there's a lot of staining on your sill. And given the environment and the exposure, I'm wondering what's going on here other than, you know, just condensation in terms of leaking. Is there other damage that's occurring? Because it sure looks wet to me. And this is a moisture meter that I just pulled out. And that beeping sound tells me that these sills are wet. They're up around 20 to 22%. When wood and drywall building components get up around that moisture content, they're prone to rot and mold.
Oh,
So
so I guess my towels aren't working.
they're probably helping, but they're not taking care of the problem. I think the solution here is to replace the windows. And because they're older and you've got multiple versions, in order to make them all look the same and to upgrade the, you know, the quality of the product, you're going to have to do all of the windows, at least on this level.
Okay. Alrighty. Got any money?
John and Susan will install fiberglass and dual pane windows. Here's how dual pane glass is made. A layer of inert gas is sealed between the inner and outer panes. Because inert gas is a poor thermal conductor, it slows the passage of heat through the glass and eliminates the need for storm windows. Next, Susan is concerned after discovering black spots in 4-year-old Thomas's bedroom.
And the other day I pulled off the baseboard, and as far as I'm concerned, it's scary. I don't like looking and seeing little bits of black.
Right. Well, you do have a little bit of mold right there on the drywall. That's what that staining is.
Okay.
Fortunately, it's not all over the wall.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be too concerned about the mold for the sake of mold or health concerns because it's a very small amount.
Okay.
I do have a concern for you though, and that's for the subfloor. You can see that it's wet. I can get my screwdriver into it.
Ew.
This is an indication that there's some leaking going on either with the siding or possibly this window. Mm-hmm. I also see an exterior deck up here above this area. Mm-hmm. What very often happens is when decks are put on after the home is built, they're not flashed properly.
We head to the other side to find the source of the leak, and Steve's suspicions are dead on.
So what I'm seeing over here is I'm seeing some deterioration above the window trim and below the ledger. You can see all the caulking there. Obviously somebody's been concerned that there's water getting in here. Mm-hmm. When I see this type of activity, it's usually the result of an improper or a missing flashing where the deck attaches to the house, right at the ledger board. The solution for it is to pull the deck away, pull the ledger out, put a flashing in there, or reinstall it correctly so that it doesn't leak.
Steve spots another problem near the deck, and it looks like this could be a 2-for-1 repair job.
And this is the side of the house, obviously, that gets the most weather. I can tell by looking at the siding, it's in pretty bad shape. It's in very bad shape.
So we can't just paint it and move?
Paint it and move. You could, but it's not advised.
Okay.
This siding has taken some heavy beating over the years. But the good news is, John and Susan can install new flashing under the deck ledger while the siding gets a makeover. We're already halfway through the inspection and are already looking at a hefty repair list. Coming up, testing for yet another leak.
I'm nervous.
A dirty furnace.
A lot of people think it's mold.
And another thorn in the siding.
This could literally cost you $30,000, maybe $40,000 to replace the entire siding.
We continue our inspection in Susan and John's bathroom with another water leak. But the question here isn't the cause, but the extent of the damage.
This time it's not coming from the outside. We believe the twins we have that are in the 4-year-old stage have clogged this toilet many, many times. And we've had quite a few overflows.
Okay.
And I don't know if you can feel it, but if you...
I can feel that the tiles here, you can see it's raised and it's loose.
Yeah.
Well, that one's really loose.
Very soggy.
My question is it still wet? And that's gonna, yeah, you can see right along the base here, it is still wet.
Toilet leaks can create more damage than you'd think. Water can seep into the subfloor and eventually into the joists. This can cause wood rot and extensive structural damage. We go downstairs underneath the bathroom.
The tool I'm going to use is a borescope. This is a tiny device with a light on the end.